Now, this is a topic that I've known about for some time, and at one point it was one of the top posts on unresolved mysteries. And despite strong arguments being made for a conclusion for this individual topic, people still will create threads discussing this conspiracy/mystery to no end. The theories regarding this individual topic are basically endless, with every theory ranging from the entire situation being made up to a big government cover-up. So I thought I'd collect everything that is known on the subject and present it in a way that will make the situation a bit easier to understand. So let's get right into that. Basically, this all starts back in 2018 when the New York Times decided to do a long-form article titled, "What is Glitter?" This flagship article that seemed to be written to rank for a major keyword gave the journalist a bunch of resources to go investigate this individual topic, which resulted in a conversation inside of the article that basically set the internet entirely on fire, as the New York Times research into this individual subject involved the author interviewing one of the managers at the GlitterX Corporation. Now, GlitterX is a major manufacturer in the United States, probably the biggest, and due to the investigative nature of this article, it was a proper question to ask what was the biggest market for glitter consumption, which led to the article stating the following. When I asked Ms. Dyer if she could tell me which industry served as GlitterX's biggest market, her answer was instant. "No, I absolutely know that I can't." I was taken aback, "But you know what it is." "Oh God, yes," she said and laughed. And you'd never guess it. Let's just leave it at that. I asked if she could tell me why she couldn't tell me, and she stated, "Because they didn't want anyone to know that it's glitter." To which the journalist would respond, "If I looked at it, would I know it was glitter?" And she would say, "No, not really." To which the journalist would respond, "Would I be able to see the glitter?" And she would say, "Oh, you'd be able to see something, but yeah, I can't." The following paragraph would write, "I asked if she could tell me off the record. She would not. I asked if she would tell me off the record after this piece was published. She would not. I told her I couldn't die without knowing, and she guided me to the automotive-grade pigments." Now, assuming this conversation went exactly like it's being written, this question appears to catch the individual employee off guard because not only are the responses cryptic, they are somewhat contradictory. She starts by saying the reason she can't tell her is because they don't want anyone to know that the product contains glitter, but then in the final statement she says that it would also be visible, and seeming to realize that she just contradicts herself, she kind of forfeits out of the conversation. Now, this prompted a large conspiracy response from the Unresolved Mystery subreddit when a user by the name of I Ran Out of Room to Write would post this individual conversation there. Now, this led everyone to believe that Big Glitter was hiding secrets from the public, and given how open-ended this individual topic can be, these theories are honestly all over the place, and we're going to get to them in a moment. What I think kind of got lost in translation is sort of the context of this conversation. This is a journalist from a major news publication talking to a major manufacturer of a product that has its own financial incentives. Something you guys need to know about running a business, and something that I have a tiny bit of experience with, is that the news is not your friend in any way, shape, or form. Controversy equals more clicks, which equals more money. And if GlitterX is going to take time out of their day to talk to a journalist, you better bet that they want to look good. The other final thing I want you to consider before we go forward is that this article was intended to be a first page of Google, long-form, 3,500-word article, aiming to rank for that precious glitter keyword that gets about 100,000 searches a month. If the largest buyer of glitter was somewhat controversial, then that would show up at the top page of Google for months on end, bringing them in massive amounts of negative press. Now, getting back to the original Reddit thread and their various theories, I must say a lot of these are really out there and offer no supporting evidence or reasoning behind them. This person thought that stealth fighter jets were coated in glitter for some reason, and the paint that he's referring to in terms of stealth fighter jets is called iron ball paint, and that's made out of ferrite and iron, not glitter. This guy was too lazy to even look up what he was talking about and got 3 Reddit awards, and chaff, the thing he's referring to, is made out of lightweight aluminum. This guy theorized that tourist spots that they would spread glitter in the sand and water so it would sparkle more. I can't imagine that would be great for the environment. This person wrote, "Here's an article that all but confirms it's toothpaste." And while some microplastic can be found in toothpaste, which the manufacturing of microbeads in healthcare products that are rinse-off, including toothpaste, was banned in July of 2017, and considering that interview was in 2018, and a bunch of other countries have banned it, kind of knocks this one off as a contender. And that's assuming that GlitterX even made this type of microplastic. I think a lot of people didn't even bother to look at the website, because if you look at their products, they literally just make variations of glitter. While certain forms of plastic can be found in a variety of products to some degree, I have no idea how any of them made these logical leaps. I was actually able to find out which product was the most popular at GlitterX2 from a quick Google search. In this article from Plastic News, it said GlitterX's big seller is Polyflake, a glitter cut from PET film, which accounts for more than half of total sales, according to Roger Ertl, the firm's president of marketing. If we go over to GlitterX's website and read the polyflake description, it says, this versatile and brilliant dimensional glitter is widely used in the boating industry as a gel coat additive in the manufacture of bass boats. As a paint additive, it adds brilliance to signs, fabric screen prints, and epoxy flooring, automotive applications, both OEM and Finnish markets. If you remember that last sentence from the article, remember when she directed her to the automotive paint section? Many people on Reddit thought that this was a cover-up or a diversion from the actual thing. And if that wasn't enough proof for you, there actually was someone who did even more digging than this. Now, the Endless Thread podcast ended up doing an episode dedicated to this individual subject, where they got someone who was a client of GlitterX to individually look into this and go to a supplier meeting, and this is what they had to say.
This source had a colleague who went to GlitterX as for like a normal supplier meeting, and they poked into it on our behalf.
Oh my God, we got someone on the inside? Josh, well done.
So my source says that their colleague did get confirmation from someone at GlitterX that the largest purchasers of GlitterX glitter are boat manufacturers.
Even on GlitterX's website, it states that this type of flake is used on those sparkling bass boats. And generally when it comes to paint and trying to get the entire surface area of something to seem sparkly, there has to be a lot more glitter used. And in regards to this paint, it's not really used for a functional purpose other than to prevent scratching on the boat. Well, I guess some people believe that the sparkle factor draws in fish. It seems the main reason that people elect to go with these boats is the fact that they're expensive and it's seen as a way to flex on other fishermen. As I was doing research for this video, I found it incredibly funny that on this post in the Bass Boat Central forums, one guy asked what's the deal with all the glitter finishes on boats, and this thread quickly devolves as people start dunking on him saying, well, why don't you just look like everyone else out on the lake? Now, getting back to our mystery, when this boat paint theory came out, everyone on Reddit was furious that this was the answer, and many were in denial that the government conspiracy that they had built up in their head didn't live up to their expectations. Now, if you want a real conspiracy theory, you might want to question why the moderators of the Unresolved Mysteries subreddit deleted this individual thread. These moderators also deleted comments like, it's definitely the real industry, no point in coming up with a conspiracy theory, they likely don't want people thinking about how much glitter ends up in the ocean. There's absolutely no reason that comment should have been deleted. To top that off, what about this? This makes sense to me. She really didn't go into it. But one of the posts mentioned at the end of the podcast how generally terrible glitter is, and I can't imagine boat makers wanting to steer attention away from how their products might be contributing to ecologically damaging presence of glitter in marine and surrounding environments. Now, after the initial hype had died down, they actually ended up bringing back this thread, but this is only after others started posting about it as well. Like I said earlier, many people failed to see the context of the situation, and when it comes to plastic manufacturers, they are notorious for pollution. Remember how I mentioned that in 2017, the microbead toothpaste was banned? Now, what happens when countless boats filled with microplastic paint and the occasional boat that will sink all the way to the bottom go out fishing each day? Well, according to a 2019 study, 100% of sea bass collected with a sample size of around 206 contained microplastics inside of their digestive tract, compared to 2017 where only 87.5% of the samples collected contained it. And while I'm sure this is not the only thing contributing to this type of pollution, you can bet your ass that glitter manufacturers are going to keep their mouths shut if it means keeping the largest client on board, especially when the item that you're selling is aimed at hobbyists who have no practical use case. Given how lackluster the situation was and many users did not respond well to it, to this day you'll see threads pop up time and time again discussing this mystery, which is pretty fitting because once glitter gets anywhere, it's impossible to clean that shit up. This is Barely Sociable. Have a good night.